Recently, I've been noticing a lot of hype surrounding one particular high school team, Prolific Prep. The team was led by a potential #1 overall pick in Jalen Green, but it also had a roster consisting of almost all 3-star recruits and above, including another consensus 5-star recruit and multiple high-ranking 4-stars. Many people are referring to this team as the greatest high school team of all time. However, I'm not too sure about that, and I really don't believe they have the support to back up such a claim. So I decided, why not compare them to a team that is actually considered one of the greatest high school basketball teams ever to step on the court. So the real question is, who is better, Chino Hills or Prolific Prep? Chino Hills was led by the trio of the Ball brothers, but the team had plenty of other talent on the roster also. This team faced a national schedule, which showcased their abundance of talent and depth. The team played at a blistering speed offensively, running their full court break. Chino Hills was one of the most exciting high school basketball teams of the 2000s, averaging 98 points per contest and tying the state record with 18 100-point games in 2015 to 2016. McDonald's All-American and future NBA lottery pick Lonzo Ball was the unquestioned leader of the team. The past first 6'6" point guard was drawing comparisons to Jason Kidd as early as his sophomore season. His senior season was something to behold, averaging over 25 points, 11 assists, 11 rebounds, and 5 steals. He provided suffocating full-court defense for all 4 quarters. The team also included his brothers LaMelo Ball and LiAngelo Ball. However, LaMelo was just a freshman at this point, and they were both still committed to UCLA. LiAngelo Ball averaged 27 points as a junior, and little brother LaMelo had an outstanding freshman season, averaging 16 points and 4 assists. LaMelo was recently drafted #3 overall to the New Orleans Hornets, and LiAngelo is still kind of struggling after the whole China debacle where he got caught stealing. However, at the end of the day, I truly don't think LiAngelo has the talent to get in the NBA. The most he could ever be is a spot-up corner shooter. Chino Hills was also led by an inside intimidating 6'8" freshman Onyeka Okongwu. At this point, he was just a rising recruit that led the team with 5 blocks per game. Okwongu's shot blocking skills were game-changing in the final months of the season. He went on to average 8.7 rebounds and 5 blocks as a freshman. He eventually went on to being a 5-star recruit in the class of 2019, where he committed to USC and balled out. He ended up being a one-and-done prospect and being drafted 6th overall to the Atlanta Hawks in last year's draft. However, outside of the star power, Chino Hills was still stacked. 6'5" swingman Eli Scott contributed to the Huskies' success. Scott helped with a bevy of Showtime dunks and an inside rebounding presence. He was truly the cleanup player on the Chino Hills roster. He took the role of Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman. He averaged 15 points and 8 rebounds as a senior. He then went on to sign at Loyola Marymount, where he would go on to average 12 points per game during his freshman season in college, which truly shows this team's insane depth. Sophomore and future Pepperdine commit Andre Ball was barely good enough to touch the floor for Chino Hills, only averaging 4 points per game, but was an eventual D1 prospect. The Huskies captured a City of Palms Classic title while notching a signature win over Montverde Academy. The Huskies also beat Jefferson and the Patrick School to win the City of Palms Holiday Tournament. 3 days later, the team traveled to another national tournament in the Max Preps Holiday Classics. There they took down Seattle Prep, Milwaukee King, and Redondo Union. They defeated 7 preseason ranked Fab 50 teams, including number 36 Bishop Montgomery, in one of California's most anticipated regular season games in recent memory. They beat Foothills Christian twice, featuring 5-star recruit TJ Leaf, an eventual teammate of Lonzo Ball at UCLA. In February, they matched up with Nevada's top squad, Bishop Gorman, who featured 3 of the top bigs in the nation. They were no match for Chino Hills' run-and-gun style, as the Huskies won 98-81. The California Open Division was especially tough in 2016, as Chino Hills faced 3 top 50 opponents on their way to the state crown. No team from California ever played tougher national competition. In the CIF Southern Section Open Division semifinals, they demolished a good modern-day team, 102-54, before beating down Sierra Canyon 105-83. And Foothills Christian 82-62. They once again beat Bishop Montgomery in the Southern California final. The state championship game saw them cruise over De La Salle 70-50. The state championship victory clinched a 35-0 season and assured a mythical national championship, cemented the school's first state title, and erased a bitter defeat in last year's Division I double overtime championship loss. Considering the Huskies defeated 11 of the top 50 teams in the country this year, fans wondered if they were the best team in state history. We believed before the start of the season we had the chance to be the best ever. Tonight sealed it in our minds, said Chino Hills coach Steve Bake, whose team scored at least 100 points 18 times. Tying a state record. We have to be in the conversation. Our body of work is impressive. Historians will need to take a hard look. And now we move on to Prolific Prep. Last year's Prolific Prep team was packed full of talent, and even a potential #1 overall pick in Jalen Green, something that Chino Hills does not have, as the highest pick they had was #2 overall in Lonzo Ball. However, it does kind of seem that the G League has weakened Jalen Green's draft stock randomly, but it is really a toss-up between Cade Cunningham and him for next year's first overall pick. During the season, Jalen Green averaged 22 points and 7 assists. His other 5-star partner in crime, Nimari Burnett, averaged 22.5 points per game while also adding in 7 assists and 7.5 rebounds. Nimari Burnett originally committed to Texas Tech, however it seems it hasn't ended too well over there and he has recently entered the transfer portal. So we'll see where he ends up. At the end of the day, this kid has a lot of talent and could potentially even be a lottery pick in a future draft. However, it is a little too early to really compare the players of both teams, since members of the Chino Hills team have already been drafted. However, it really just seems a matter of time before Jalen Green and some of the others make the NBA. The 2020 class, arguably the best in program history, consists of the country's #1 overall player in Jalen Green, top 30 prospect Nimari Burnett, while also including Saba Jabaria at Georgia Tech, Coleman Hawkins at Illinois, Mott Mag at Rutgers. Their coach said, "Our senior class is probably one of the best in the country." I mean, we've got obviously a couple players that are ranked nationally. They play hard and they're the leaders of our team, and we continue to ride them until the end of our season. Both Jalen Green and Nimari Burnett were selected as All-Americans. The duo is just the 19th pair of teammates ever to be named McDonald's All-Americans in the 43 years of the event. Burnett didn't play during the weekend, but Green continues to show why many believe he is bound to be a high pick in the 2021 NBA Draft. Prolific Prep went on to win 30 games to only 3 losses in the 2019-2020 season. 2 of their losses came from AZ Compass Prep, one of the best teams in the nation, who is currently ranked #2. And their third loss I'm not so sure about. On Max Preps it just says varsity opponent, but they ended up losing that game 76-70. However, during the season, Prolific Prep faced LaMelo Ball and Spire in a very one-sided game, as Jalen Green and company went off beating Spire 105-81. Nimari Burnett earned the player of the game with 29 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Coleman Hawkins added in 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And their leader, Jalen Green, added in 22 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Overall, they demolished LaMelo and Spire. However, there is a large disparity between LaMelo's Spire team and LaMelo's original crew at Chino Hills. This is truly the first team to ever compete against Chino Hills for the contention of greatest high school basketball team, at least in this era of high school players being highly publicized and as famous as some lower tier celebrities. Potentially in a few years it'll be a little more clear on which team had more talent. On paper, Prolific Prep matches up well with Chino Hills and could arguably be better after the decline of Lonzo as he entered the NBA. In the end, I still think Chino Hills would mop the floor with Prolific Prep, as they did have high recruits, but also LaMelo Ball, who could truly be a special player in the NBA and has already shown so. And it is a tad too early to tell on Lonzo if he's actually a bust, as he still possesses the traits to be a great player in the league one day. The one thing that Chino Hills truly has over Prolific Prep is the team chemistry. When majority of the Chino Hills starters are blood related, there is truly no greater chemistry than that. And I truly think that's what moves the needle in this matchup, and overall in any comparison of high school teams versus Chino Hills. When their best 3 players have all literally grown up playing with one another, there is really no stopping the fluid chemistry the Ball brothers display on the court. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to like and sub, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.